Hello, everyone, and welcome to round three of a special series tribute to an early pioneer of this game, who has been very influential in the development of this game's competitive element to the community we see today. We do this in his honour due to the very sad news of his deteriorating health from lung cancer. My name is Mike, a longtime friend and rival of David's and competitor of last year's annual tournament. I'm joined today, once again, very kindly by Game Draco, who, like myself and David, is also an old school runner of this game to support this event. Last match, we saw Ace and Domre compete in one of the most intensely anticipated duels, where Ace, having won more races than his rival in that match, now places first so far for the overall competition on points. Today's round features Zelascelar, who competed in the first round of the 2021 annual event yesterday for this game, and Paige, who competed in last year's tournament, who finished joint 7th alongside Lightning Pirate. So today they're going to battle it out to compete to see if any of them can top the challenge presented so far.
Yeah, this should be a fun match because these players are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I thought it's definitely going to be very interesting. They're going to be playing all 7 of the amateur circuits of this game in sequential order. That's basically the format, and we're going to use the results of those to determine the outright winner. So they kind of get points depending on how well they perform. So obviously you want to do as best you can on every single track. And I'm just going to check our players are ready, which they're saying they are. I think actually it looks like Paige is the stream frozen here, or
I think it's frozen at the moment, yeah.
okay.
So.
Have a look at that. All right, I can see Zelascelar's waiting. I'm not sure what's going on with Paige's.
She just said she restarted.
Okay, so hopefully when that's ready, then we'll be ready to start the first race.
Yeah. My money is on Paige for this first race because she's very close to the Boot to Train world record now.
Yeah, certain players definitely have their favourite tracks and what they're good at. So I think that's definitely a case here. So the platform is PC, we should probably say. Yeah, just in reference there to a question in Twitch from Acid Coven.
Yeah. The PC is like Uber tier version of this game, though you can get it on Nintendo 64, which is how I played the game. And also it's available for Sega Dreamcast, and last year got ported to the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Yeah, I think Switch actually is rather a new. It's a new version, isn't it? Switch is quite new. It's only like a year old, if I understand right.
Yeah, same with the PS4 and Xbox One version.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is just a temporary delay with this, because Paige says that her stream is working. So
yeah, it looks fine on her channel, but we can't see. So, getting ready. Very strange. with
Yeah, we've not seen this before. But yeah, Zelascelar's ready. Well, I suppose we can talk about the track for a minute. Yeah, I mean, this is a track that I know I spent a lot of time on. Initially when I was first learning the game. I mean, it's kind of natural being the first track, but I think just because it just happened to fall so close to the 30-second mark, it was always like my goal for the second lap to do under 30 seconds for this track, which I finally managed to do. I think it was in about 2010, I think, so it was a good 11 years ago. And
yeah,
I had a
yeah, and that stood for almost a decade.
Yeah, I actually had a feeling I'd done a 29.8 at one point, possibly in like 2007 or 2008, but I didn't have any video of that. So this is a very unusual problem.
Yeah, I agree. Because it looks like it's fine on Paige's end, but it hasn't updated on either our end or the Twitch end.
Yeah.
Oh, and a guy just said, Matt, how long has this been out? Love seeing the classics going. It has been out since 1999 as it came out with the release of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace movie that came out in May of 1999.
Yeah, the trouble is that like there wasn't very many competitive players of this game other than like myself and Game Draker, my co-commentator, for example. So it wasn't really very well known. It's only now that like there's been the new Star Wars films coming out and there's loads of new players doing this game that we can like do these big events and things. So it's now we're sort of getting the opportunity to have a little bit of competition with these games, really.
Yeah, and it really opened up come 2017 with the GOG and Steam releases of the game, especially.
Yeah, I know that my version was from Steam actually, and it was actually someone in this community who's also doing this tribute event, Renegade, who informed me of the new community. I think I tell you about it, Game Draco, or did you find out yourself? Or
Oh, we might have to bump down the quality of the streams because apparently they said we have a lot of machine live right now, and probably the 1080 pics is probably the cause. So
is it not Paige's stream we have a problem though, not Zelascelar's?
yeah, I was gonna say, I think Paige is we're having the problem with Paige, not so ping. So because I see the stream is on 480 30 FPS.
Yeah, there's not very much we can do at this moment, unfortunately.
Just asked Paige if she could dial down her stream. to 480 since that's on our end. And he said that'll murder bitrate on half checks.
Yeah, I guess it's just overloaded generally, perhaps.
We have a server overload, which is compromising the start of the event more than anything. All I get is 1080p. That is strange. Oh yeah, both streams have froze now. And it looks like Zelascelar's having an internet connection problem.
Yeah, I think we might need all that time today.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do the amateur circuit run well, it usually will take about maybe 25 minutes, possibly.
Yeah, it was something like that. I think it's possible maybe to do it even in under 20, maybe. I'm not sure, but
it might be under 20 with in-game time because I know when you use Ben on all 7 tracks, you can get a really fast time.
Yeah, I think I remember, and because I did that calculation, I think it was under 20 minutes for all of them. We see what we've got on the screen as an example. We've got David's times here as a comparison, where we can see the abbreviations of each track, which says, for example, BTC, Bunter Training Course, and we've got the time 1:35.67. So these are the times for the amateur circuits, which is kind of like a bonus award if the players can achieve them. But obviously, if you add up all those times, it'll give you an idea as to how long it takes to do all 7.
I think the streams are freezing from server overload. Because both of them are frozen now.
Yeah, it's strange. We haven't had this issue before in any match that we've done.
Oh, I see Zelascelar warming up, taking a stroll, so his stream's working. Now we're waiting on Paige. And Paige looks like I'm starting to see movement on her end. So, Zelascelar's on it, and we're just waiting. Up, I see Paige's stream changing. Hopefully this is a good sign, but we'll be able to start soon.
Yeah, it might be worth discussing this with the committee as well, just to make sure that we don't experience the same problems in any other matches we do.
Yeah.
I mean, so presumably it's just to do with the just having too high a frame rate or something on the stream.
It's more seems like to be a technical issue, since we are saying it's we might have to too high in quality. So that's, now that I'm listening, they're too high in quality, so we'll have to downgrade the quality. And I see Paige's stream moving, but it's coming out in bursts.
I see. So we get screenshots as opposed to.
Yeah, it seems like to be a quality end on our end.
Yeah,
I see. Paige is now running. It's reopened and resyncing. But it's still we're getting it's reopened and resyncing, so we're going to be, it's not a really fluid stream from either one of them now, which is kind of problematic. Okay, I see Paige on it. Now we're just waiting for Zelascelar.
Yeah, actually, now you said it, like when you look at it, you can see like Zelascelar's quality image is higher there than Paige's.
Yeah. Someone said in the chat, Pod Racer Tech too strong. So Paige is now fluid again. So now we just need to get Zelascelar's moving again. So we're just waiting. So and Zelascelar using the multiplayer mod might be complicating the issue, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, I did say no mods for this event, but I don't. Although having said that, I don't think that would really affect this particular issue. I don't know.
Yeah, it. Oh, now I see Zelascelar's getting restarted.
Okay, now we can see again. Okay.
Okay, both of us I see running now. They're both running. So we should be able to start now with both of them running fluidly. Okay, I think we're finally ready to go. Okay. Good. I think we are solving our issues. So we have Zelascelar. We have, it's like Zelascelar is ready. Now we're waiting on Paige. And it looks like, so we just need to get them to the pause menu and we should be good to go. So, okay. Both of them are running fluidly, which, okay. We're going to get going. So I don't think we should wait for the catch-up streams because Zelascelar's coming in some bursts. Here we go. Okay. Okay, Paige is ready on her end. We're waiting on Zelascelar. Yeah, I see Paige waiting. I'm just waiting on Zelascelar. It's it again, though. Yep. Zelascelar is... Okay, we're waiting.
Yeah, I don't really know what to suggest for this problem, to be honest. It's looking to be quite a big issue, this, so...
I think it might be due to overloading the servers at this time. It seems like Speed Gaming is having a very busy Sunday. Okay, they're both waiting, so let's just... If we can just get ready with just going... Just get ready to... It's time just to... Let's start with the countdown now. We can start, only we can't see your streams, though, so...
Paige is still practicing, so...
Paige restarted... Zelascelar restarted OBS, so that might be happening on Zelascelar's end. If you're ready, please stop practicing. Right at the menus. Sorry about this, everyone. We are... Okay, Zelascelar's waiting at the menu, and now we're waiting on Paige. Looks like restarting. No. No. It isn't frozen now. No, good at the moment. So... That's so strange, because we didn't have this problem with Zelascelar yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, well, hopefully we'll actually be able to start in a second. But obviously, yeah, players need to make sure they obviously stop warming up, because if they keep practicing, then we can't determine when to start the race. Then you see, so
I think we're ready.
Okay, it looks like we're ready now. Okay,
I think we're ready for the countdown now. Okay, I think we're ready to go.
okay.
Yep, they're both on. Here we go. Let's start. And my money is certainly on Paige for this race, because she is now very close to world record on this track. Here we go.
Yeah, I think Paige is the favourite for this first race. Yeah. So we should just see a small delay of about 20 seconds or so, and then we should see them start them.
Yep, Paige is off.
Good.
And Zelascelar is off. And Paige has really grinded this track into the ground compared to most runners of this game. So, and if she gets 135, she will, I think, beat both Ace and Dumray in this tourney for this track.
Yeah, taking a very short line there.
And looks like something's, I think it's a server load issue. So, yeah. And we're going to see. Here we go. And here we go. Paige into the final lap with a 32. She'll have to do a really fast third lap. Zelascelar with a 33 first lap.
Yeah, she's on good heat management as well.
And here we go. Final boost.
Yeah, so we could see a sub 35.
32, 33, 34, 35.95. I think that is a record for 135.946. That is a new record for book to training for
This event, yeah.
For this event. That is the first 135. So that actually puts Paige ahead of both Ace and Dumray for this match. Now, and Zelascelar came in with Zelascelar came in with a 139.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen that on the stream though, have we? So
yeah, I think the stream end is like a bit slower on bitrate, which is what's coming up with it. So, but Zelascelar comes in with a 139. It looks like. Now, in between races, you see Paige switching her pod parts for Mongaza Speedway, which is the track David was best in. So, and
yeah, I'm thinking we might have to forfeit this match because this isn't the stream is just a big problem here.
yeah.
I mean, we can wait and see, but just see what time Zelascelar comes in with.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we had another 139 as well, so we need to make sure we know what the decimals are.
Yeah. One sec. And Paige is saying she's doing a slight warm up because of the traction change.
Okay, so well, we see there 39.66 for Zelascelar.
130. And one person said, "Who was David Stubbs?" If you saw the entry, he is a veteran runner of this game. Was really masterful on Mongaza Speedway and Bunta Training, especially top 5 and top 3 to this day. And we're doing, and about a month and a half ago, he came up to this community saying he's dying of terminal cancer. So we're just doing this in his honor. I see Zelascelar on start race. Might have to. I'm pretty sure I'll knock it out now. Ha! Zelascelar said, I'm sure it's probably my crap internet. I'll get better one at Wednesday. But we have to. I can just do a normal stream instead. I can do it all now. I can do it all now, too. So...
Yeah, I'm more thinking about the time issue, that's all.
yeah.
It's going to take a long time like this, so...
Up! Zelascelar realized what his problem was. I know why now. My Twitch was on in the background. Try now. Yeah. There we can see that.
Yeah, we apologise for the messiness of this event. We don't usually have these issues, so we're just trying to do the best we can at the moment with this.
Yeah. So...
Okay.
yeah, it looks like both are fluid again. So...
Okay. Right. It looks like they're both ready now.
Yep. Yep, I see both of them on the flicker, so I think we're ready for the countdown. Okay,
Yeah.
countdown has been given. This is a track that is a case of blink it and you'll miss it.
Yeah, this is a very, very short track, the shortest of all the tracks in the game, actually. But it's pretty straightforward. But having said that, it's also one that's very difficult to get a good time on, I think, because it's hard to hold some of these boosts around the corners, which you really need if you want to have a good lap time.
Especially with Ben, because he's so stiff. You can hold the boost, the longer boost, a lot easier with Mars and Elon Mac especially. And Zelascelar coming in with a 15.
Well, at least we get to see a race this time. That's good.
Yeah. 15:06. And I think we're syncing it up, so... And Paige might have froze accidentally, but Zelascelar's on a 13. And we see... And here we go. Zelascelar comes in. Up! Nymphocrat. Paige crashed. Zelascelar has a 42.290. So a 42.290, and and Paige comes in with a 47.59. So we are now have a tie going into Beta's Wild Ride, which is the third track and one of the hardest of the amateur circuit because of how slippery it can be, quite literally.
Yeah, definitely a much more challenging track, this one. But we've got a lot of players now who have actually had a death in Mongaza Speedway, so those points are actually going to be rather essential. You know, like just the differences there. You know, the between sort of the 45 to 48 second mark are actually going to be important times.
It looks like Info is tweaking with her traction. Oh, Zelascelar is going to use Aladar Beto for this, it looks like.
That's unusual.
Well, I will note that Zelascelar said he's a big fan of using Aladar Beto.
Yeah, I think didn't he use it last year in, or maybe it was Nacho? I can't remember. As a no upgrades pod, possibly.
Yeah, and he lost because of it because the other guy used bowls, and that was. But you know, I know he did play full track with Beto a few times, and one time and last year there was another runner named King Bean Dip who did Beto with Gravine Gateway as a joke and troll move.
Just attached a couple of links there as usual. So we've got the link there, the first link for David Stubbs. That's his YouTube channel. So for anybody who would like to know a little bit more about David and have a look at some of his videos and content, you can have a look there, watch that. And we've also got the current schedule as well, just so you can see anyone who wants to follow this tournament can just see what matches are scheduled and what's coming up.
And it looks like the count looks like. Oh, so we saw a talk from Paige and Zelascelar in chat where it says, Paige, you're doing Beto again? And Zelascelar replied back, you saw it, stream sniper. Haha, yeah, I'm doing it. And Paige said, I know you, I just know you. Played me like a Theo. Okay, so Zelascelar's ready. Of course. And now Paige. Of course. Now we're waiting on Paige to get ready, but they're both. So yeah, they're both.
I think if we do run out of time today, then we'll probably just have to just get them to play the remaining tracks in a separate match. Perhaps that's probably the only way we can do this, I think.
Okay, I think we're ready to go.
I believe so. I'm just waiting for. I don't think Paige has actually confirmed she's ready. Oh, she did actually earlier say. Okay.
Okay, cool. We're gonna now give the countdown. Countdown has been given.
Yeah, we should probably also explain there are some. This game being quite old is rather broken in a lot of ways. So it's possible for players to actually use what we define as skips, where they can like do maneuvers that you wouldn't like not normally intend to be done by the game. But we're disallowing them for this event, so it's just going to be the full track versions of each circuit.
And looks like Zelascelar is off, and so is Paige. I know. I wonder how much being a Vito fanboy is going to cost this time for Zelascelar.
Yeah, I guess he's rather taking this event more casually, because obviously it's rather a serious disadvantage to go with Aldar. I mean, there aren't many stats really where Aldar's better than Ben. I think his cooling's better, but that kind of doesn't really count for much with this. Ben just has a much longer boost and a much higher top speed, so that's going to, make a significant difference here. So see.
58 with Beto, 55 with Paige, with Ben, and he's taking the tent with Beto, which has the worst traction of any pod in the game, one of the worst turnings in the game too. And now you can see that distance really starting to grow between Ben and Beto into the second lap.
Yeah, surprising actually. I mean, and as well, I mean, with the tunnel, then you.
Oh, Zelascelar crashes into the wall because of his greasy handling.
Yeah, so that is a potential issue, as you said. Yeah.
Oh, and Paige crashes with Ben. And Paige coming in with a 58, with a 56. Zelascelar crashes into the tent, so that's not going to lose him quite as much time because of the speed boost. Geez, that was an odd death by Paige.
Yeah, missing the bridge there, rather.
Yeah.
But you can see why you call it Beto's Wild Ride, with this crazy section over the ice field.
And here comes Paige for this final portion.
Yeah, risky by Zelascelar actually trying to go through that narrow gap on the ice field, actually.
And Paige comes in with a 248. And Zelascelar coming in with a 304.89. This is what happens when you choose the fastest pod versus the third fastest in this game. Massive margin. And Paige crashed more, yet still got a faster time.
Yeah, I think with everything else being equal, you'd expect that Ben would do better here for the most part. I mean, you're not going to do a 248 probably with Beto, I imagine. So,
yeah. So now we're going to Aqualaris Classic. Oh my god. Oh my god, Zelascelar. He just replied back, Beto is the best. Oh my god. Oh, beautiful. Being a fanboy there.
Bidu's actually a pretty good pod when you start playing the game. Like when you, like, he's a significant upgrade for no upgrades compared to like Anakin, when which is the first pod that a lot of players use, or EB Endicott, which is actually the best pod with no upgrades for the very start of the game when you have very few pods unlocked.
Yeah, but the reliability champ you can unlock on the very first track in the semi-pro circuit in Bullseye Navoir, and both are ready to go. So both said they're ready. The last car said ready for 4, and now Paige is saying she's ready. So let's see.
Well, at least we're getting some races in now. It seems to have. Hopefully, we won't have any more unpleasant issues
And here we go. I think. Here we go. Rafe, I think we're ready for the countdown now.
Good. Right. Okay.
Oh, win counter. Need to update that. That is a win for Paige. Countdown has been given. 2, 1, go. Okay. We're ready to go.
Yeah, pretty straightforward track, this one. I would say actually in some ways it's simpler than the Bunter training course, although it does have the moving doors, which are, if you don't familiar with the pattern, it can be a bit of an issue. Although with these two players, I mean, they're two very good players, so they should know what they're doing with that. I wouldn't think that would catch them out. All right, here we go.
Okay. I think this is one of the tracks where both of them are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to say who would have the advantage on this track, actually.
Yeah. It's like only more... I feel like the most obvious advantage occurred during Bunta training. So, and Paige is struggling to get his stream, so we're going to see how Zelascelar fares through this final figure 8. And comes in with a 53.93.
Yeah, it's pretty good first lap time.
Yeah, he's on a sub 240 pace at the current rate.
Yeah, I would think so. I should probably know. I've played this track probably 5,000 or 6,000 times at least. So we see there the changing movement of the gate. So we don't see any movement on lap 1. We see them on lap 2 though. So it allows you to take a slightly shorter line through that section.
And the gates will move in a different pattern on lap 3.
Yeah, looks like Zelascelar just managing his boost effectively, making sure he doesn't get the engines too cool and lose time, and at the same time not overheating too much and boosting too often. So
53.01. So probably coming in for a 240.
yeah, I think Domray has the best time so far with 237.7. So
yeah. Yeah, no, man, they're really neck and neck.
And so we actually get to see Paige.
Yeah. Going into the final stretch, we're going to see. Looks like Zelascelar's in a slight lead. Oh
Yeah.
no! Zelascelar crashed right in the figure eight.
That's very unfortunate.
And Paige comes in with a 238.
Very unfortunate death from Zelascelar there.
238, and looks like Paige is now having technical difficulties. And let's see if their times were post. And Paige just told us she got a 238.50.
Yeah, that's what I got as well. I didn't get Zelascelar's time though.
He said a 245. He said a 245.
Okay, yeah, so we'll have to just go with that for the moment.
And now we're going into the quarterfinal track.
Yeah, this track is definitely one of the more interesting and challenging ones, I think. I would say you probably crash on this track more often than Aquilau's Classic for sure, I would say.
Particularly in the final hairpin.
Yeah, there's actually a few sections. I mean, it depends on what kind of strategy you use, but there are a few other sections as well, which personally I found like I tend to crash more at. So I think it depends on your strategy and your skill level a little bit as to which corners can be most risky. So you have to kind of do kind of a risk assessment, risk management with some of these tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a track where having greasy handling is best, because the most optimal configuration for traction and frame rate for this track is the bare minimum at 2420.
Yeah, if you use a very high frame rate, then you'd have to actually brake for the final corner, which is obviously a disadvantage. So, but the con, obviously, of using this low frame rate is like Game Draco is saying, is that it does make the pod very, very greasy with the handling. So it's very, very, very slippery, and you have to really pay attention to your lines.
Yeah. And this track I actually held the world record on for this game for about 6 years. And I did on the 64, which is fixed at 24. And I did it at 24 R600. And now it looks like Paige is ready, and both Zelascelar is ready too. So we're ready. I think we're getting ready for the quarterfinal round of this track.
Yeah, I don't think in our day of racing we paid too much attention to this idea of setting up. It was very much a case of just do the track and see how, try and improve your best time, really. So there is obviously that strategical element now that exists with this game, really, just that we weren't really so aware of back in the day.
Yeah, and especially when we first started, because the first games and also the console ports were fixed at frame rates. So I think both are ready now. I see one on the menu start line, and the other one. Okay. Countdown has been given.
Yeah, so we haven't seen...
And I have to update the tracker to 3 wins for Paige.
Are you doing that game tracker?
Yeah, I already updated. I just updated it.
All right, okay. I thought we had the admin doing that for us as well.
No, I've done this before, so...
Yeah, so we haven't seen any of David's times been beaten yet. I don't believe. Although it's, having said that, it's rather a difficult task, I think.
Well, I know Domray and Ace beat both of his times on Aquilera's Classic, and Ace beat his Vengeance time.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, during this match, I don't think we've seen a better time there yet.
Yeah,
so
I think
so. See how they get on here.
And both are off.
Nice sync pause. What is that trigger thing that's activated on Zelascelar? I'm not familiar with that.
Zelascelar is playing with the approved multiplayer mod.
All right, I'm just thinking because this is a single player event, so I'm just wondering what that has to do with anything. But
no, it's partly due to the mod. Paige coming in with a 36. Zelascelar a slight lead for him. So this is the second lap. And this track is also based off of a real-life racetrack in Sonoma Raceway, which is in Northern California. Solid hairpin by Paige. That is a 34.64. That's actually pretty solid. And a 36.14 for Zelascelar. So Paige is in the lead.
Yeah,
by about 2 seconds.
Yeah, we saw.
If she survives the hairpin, she'll get it. Here we go. The final hairpin for Paige. Very clean. And that is a 146.29. And the last score coming in with a 149.066. So that is another win for Paige. And now we're going into the 2 final tracks in Vengeance and Spice Mine Run. Now we're having a parts change for Vengeance.
I've just noticed it's 4-1 to Paige at this point for their match.
Yep. Okay, Vengeance is... Zelascelar's getting ready for Vengeance on 6. So now we're just waiting on Paige.
Well, surprisingly, we've still got 45 minutes remaining for this session, which is good news.
Yeah. Yeah, considering how short the tracks are, we might be able to finish everything.
That was very close to Ace's Malsdare time, actually, who's our current leader for M100 with a 146.1. So, yeah, that was a good result from
and Paige said she's going to be using the bathroom, so we're going to wait like a minute or 2 for that. But I think they're getting ready for it, and So this track is this is another track where it's most optimal to do the highest frame rate at the highest traction, mainly due to the anti-gravity tube that makes up a bulk of this track. And Paige is now back. She's ready to go. So we're starting with the semifinal track of this. Okay. Giving the countdown. Zelascelar's ready. I see both. Stream's caught up. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. Go, go, go. Okay. We'll be starting shortly. 1, Vengeance. And Paige is off. Okay. Zelascelar hasn't got the countdown notice yet, so and there's Paige doing the boost fling, which is something that I found back when we were playing in the day. You have this cog shaft. That's really hard to dodge. And now we see Paige going into the brutal Uvu tube, where you have all these rocks and then that purple reactor core beam, where if you hit it, it kills you.
Yeah, we see she's using 48 FPS as well for her setup, as we discussed a little bit earlier. Yeah, we can see Zelascelar now, fortunately. So also going through the dreaded Uvo tubes.
We have 103 by Paige.
Yeah, it's pretty good first lap. We don't see, I think you don't really see much better than that.
For world record pace, which is what Dumray and Ace were on in the last match, you need a 101 first lap.
Yeah, it'd be a high 101 though, so it'd be like a second or so better, wouldn't it?
And 104. Here's the second Uvu second run. Narrowly dodges the reactor core beam.
Yeah, Zelascelar holding the boost through that section, so let's save
Looks
a little
like
bit. Oh, take a death.
I think he got a little greedy and broke. Here comes Paige with a 102.44.
Yeah, so decent pace. That last section of the track can be very bumpy, actually. We saw that, I think it was Metallica possibly who got caught out by that in his match earlier. So when your pod hits the ground very hard, it forces you to...
Paige got a bad line and crashed while boosting.
Yeah, she was holding the slide button while turning. That's what's caused the death there.
Yeah, that section tends to kill you really easily. But this whole track is full of parts that will kill you easily, which is what makes it so hard. It's easily the hardest track of the amateur circuit.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice of Nock to be joining us as well.
310 with a death. Zelascelar Zelascelar spinning in the tubes, narrowly dodged the reactor core beam. 310.856. Oh! Crashes upon exit. I think he hit a rock.
Yeah, Zelascelar had a bit of a rough time on this track.
The neck and now we're going into the final track in Spice Mine Run. And this track is, I would say, deceptively easy because it feels so easy with all the straights, but then there's parts when you're going for an IL record that just sucker punch you.
Yeah, it can be quite dangerous if you're not careful. I think any track where you sort of perceive it as being an easy track is definitely one like you're more on your guard. If you play something like Graveline Gateway, you're paying attention, and but with these sort of tracks you can easily sort of forget what you're supposed to be doing, and even something simple like just forgetting to manage your boost correctly or something, which can basically lose you the same amount of time as a death if you're not careful. So you do have to pay attention.
Okay, both are getting ready to go.
Yeah, well, hopefully we will see some 342s, Domre, but we'll see. You see Paige doing a little bit of practice there.
That Paige just replied back, "This is high on my list to grind. 42 shouldn't be that far off for me." I think both are ready now. And Zelascelar also, for the last match, recorded at 321. Countdown is being given. Go. Good luck. I see what you did. 0.5, 0.25, go. Okay.
Yeah, I did tell you. Yeah, so final track of the amateur circuit for these two players. So we should see them starting in about the next 10 seconds or so. There we go.
Here we go. Both of them are off.
And yeah, it's pretty straightforward at the start. Nothing really too tricky. We have this conveyor belt that they go over, which will give them additional speed boost up the hill.
And there's Paige firing the booster on the conveyor belt for a massive spike in speed going into this.
Yeah, I think Zelascelar underheated slightly, so that's going to lose him a little bit of time.
And here we go. Looks like they're really close going into the first lap. Oh, Paige crashed.
Oh, that's the corner that I hit in the 2019 tournament.
A 115.99 for Zelascelar. And a 120 for Paige. That's what happens when that's about a 5-second loss that takes when you die at a random spot on average, which in that case was right around the average because there was no slope and no off-road.
Yeah, so you say the deaths are not equal in terms of time loss. It depends very much on how hot the engines are and at what point in the track you crash. Because obviously, if you crash just before a very winding section, it's not going to be as time loss as if you do it just before a straight, for example. You see, Paige is very wary of that corner now, having hit that on the previous lap.
Yeah. Now Zelascar's on the final lap.
I think she made up a little bit of time, but it's not going to be enough usually for a death.
And Zelascar managed to dodge the dozer, so is Zelascelar.
Yeah, fortunately, it's just a little bit further up, so it's not too much of a concern. When you're on a very quick pace, the bulldozer is literally right across the track, straight in the line, so you have to literally drive through it in order to make it, which can kill you if you're not careful. There's only specific positions that you can drive through that on your pod and survive.
Yeah, you usually have to go. You also have to tilt to narrow your hitbox to survive it too.
Yeah, so the last section here, so they need to use much of the boost they can for the remaining section of the track because there's not much track left, so they don't need it on the last straight.
346 from Zelascelar. And 348 with a death. Wow.
She made up quite a lot of time there, actually. Surprising, yeah.
And we are
yeah, that actually was quite a close race in the end, interestingly.
Ahoy.
Sure.
Hey, figured I could actually hop in. Didn't think I'd have time.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Congratulations on your win today.
Yeah. GG, man.
Thanks. Some questionable deaths from me.
Yeah, I see you did a me on the Spice Mine, I see.
Yeah. That one death from you has stuck as the description for that spot.
It's so easy though, isn't it? Because you can hardly see it, so it's very difficult to judge where that corner is.
Yeah.
So it just happens. But I mean, even so, I mean, you were 5 seconds behind after lap 1, and then at the end of it, you managed to. Well, you must have made up 3 seconds. I mean, you had good boost management and etc. So you pulled back 3 seconds there on the last part, and obviously that's still quite important because obviously if anyone else plays, then you want to make sure you get the best time you can. So
yeah,
well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an interesting match too. We had technical difficulties at first, but it got resolved by the end, which was nice. So we were able to complete it.
Yeah, fortunately, surprising we managed to get all that in time, but it's good news.
or something.
Yeah. So we might need to make a note of this for the main tournament to find out. We might need to make a note of this if that happens in the main tourney with what happened today.
I mean, it's very easy to manage Twitch settings. It's just a matter of we didn't think that would be the problem.
I agree. Definitely.
Something
We
to
didn't
worry
expect
about.
this. Okay, we don't have to worry about it unless it happens.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to iron out all these issues. The more we do these events, the more we can anticipate stuff. But how did you two both feel about your performance today?
And I'm glad I managed to break the 135 barrier in tournament for Boon to Training.
Yeah, you're now in the lead actually for that track, I believe.
Yeah,
Ooh,
and
nice.
who's left to go?
I can actually answer that question. It'll just take me a couple seconds. So we've got let's have a look. We've got Bol Rempley, we've got King Mean Dib, we've got Renegade, Digital Unity, and That's No Good.
Okay.
The final remaining players. Yeah, but
So there's a very good chance that time will stand then.
yeah, with Mongaz is going to be quite interesting because there's quite a lot of times there with around sort of 45, 46, 47 seconds. So
Yeah.
so we're seeing quite a lot of deaths. I mean, obviously there's that one death, and then you get that kind of time. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes as well.
I'm very curious where the point totals are going to wind up on this one.
Same here.
Because I mean, I frankly have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the point system basically is so the players. I think I would explain this at the start of this match, but yeah, basically, so players are obviously going to have, going to be compared. So we're going to use all the results we've got for each of the tracks for each player and compare them with every other player, so we can effectively create matches which didn't occur, but we can use the results that we've got to decide.
I mean, that's the entire advantage of a system like this.
Yeah, so it basically means that you don't have to play everybody. You can just do one match, and we'll use those results as a guide as to how everyone's done. So.
Mm-hmm. We should probably hand the channel back off because we started very late.
Yeah.
I think that's a good call because.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, I don't believe there's any matches scheduled for the annual tournament that are coming up at the moment.
Not yet. There should be some qualifiers scheduled this upcoming week, though.
Yeah, but I've put the link in the description, so for anyone who would like to follow that and this event as well, this special event we're running for David. So we've got the links there.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a look and see the upcoming matches of those events when they will be scheduled. But yeah, unless anyone has anything else to add at the moment.
What was that?
Unless anyone
We're
has...
good.
I think we're good.
If we're short of time, then we can quit.
Yeah, I don't know much else to say. I think we did pretty good, and I'm glad everything worked out in the end so that we could actually do it.
Yeah, it was fun. But I guess I will head out.
Okay. So with this, I think we can just say good luck, and may the force be with you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for participating, and thanks to Speed Gaming and to Game Draco, my co-commentator, and to all the participants who've taken part in this event. So I know that David would very much appreciate this, so thank you.
It was the reason why I went Beetle as well. It was a little promise of me for him.
All right, take care, Zelascelar. See you later.
Yeah. too. Thanks.